We're live.
We're live.
We're live from the Candy Factory. Ann Kirby is the founder of the Candy Factory,
A co-working campus in Lancaster, PA,
and kick-ass female entrepreneurs.
A networking group for female entrepreneurs.
I'm interviewing people who are experts in their field.
Marketing,
accounting,
company culture,
We're going to be talking about a wide range of topics.
co-working,
HR,
community,
Some might interest you, some might not, at first, but I promise you'll learn something new.
leadership,
development,
entrepreneurship.
all things business.
It's live from the Candy Factory.
With Ann Kirby.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Live from the Candy Factory. I'm Ann, your host, and I have a special guest today, Megan Malik of Well Counseling and Consulting Services. Welcome, Megan.
Good morning, Ann.
Good morning. Yeah, we're talking all things voting today, mail-in ballots and all that good stuff. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Megan.
So, as Ann said, I'm a therapist in Lancaster, PA. I work with spiritual but not necessarily religious individuals and couples that tend to be Millennial and Gen Xers. And I'm here today more as a private citizen than as my therapist self. And that's because I believe I'm part of a bigger whole, which is something I believe with all clients too. And I think voting this year is really important. And I was surprised at the lack of knowledge I had, Ann, before going to poll worker training. And so I'm all about resourcing people and helping educate people. So.
Yeah, so tell us, you're fresh off of poll worker training. And
Yes.
so what's that process like, and why did you consider becoming a poll watcher before we talk about voting?
Yeah, so this, I guess, summer when the news really started to hit with COVID-19 and the primary number of volunteers are people that are in high-risk categories, namely those that are older, retired folks who tend to also have medical conditions. There was a concern that there wouldn't be enough poll workers and watchers to be there, as well as, to be perfectly honest, the concern about what's going to happen with mail-in balloting and all of that. And I wanted to be part of the solution, and I wanted to contribute. And so I thought, wait a second, I am able to work virtually for 2 weeks afterward. I do not have a pre-existing health condition, so it makes sense for someone like me to volunteer.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your volunteering and participation in our, what I think is one of the most important things that we as American citizens get to do, and celebrate our democracy by voting.
Absolutely.
So real quick, before we dive into mail-in ballots and the process, I just want to say that there's a deadline alert for those who are not registered to vote yet. You can register to vote by October 19th. And you can do that online. It's really nice and simple. So you go to pavoterservices.pa.gov and you can register online. So get registered if you are not already. The clock is ticking. It's just a few days away. So October 19th, register to vote if you are not registered already. So let's just dive right in. I know there's a lot of questions about mail-in ballots. Tell us a little bit about it. I actually brought my mail-in ballot today,
Excellent.
sealed, so that we can walk through the process. You have yours as well. And I'm excited to get this bad boy filled out and brought down to the mail-in ballot box at the
Yes.
county office in the city. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about the process.
So, first and foremost, you have to register to receive a mail-in ballot through a website, and actually that date is already passed.
So you cannot get a mail-in ballot at this point. So this would be for if you have registered for one already.
That's correct. And if you have not yet received it, if you're in Lancaster County and you've not received it, I would contact the county election office in Lancaster, because those were actually mailed now over a week ago. And so you really should have received your mail-in ballot, and they will work with you on that. You can also, Ann, track it online.
Yay. Yeah, so you can go to votespa.com, and that will pretty much lead you to the pavoterservices.pa.gov site. And it gives you all the information, not only what we'll be talking about today, but so much more. And it will also, you can not only track your ballots, you can also go to www.co.lancaster.pa.us for the county information if you do need to make a call to find out where your ballot is.
Yeah. So they're being very alert about tracking ballots, where they are in the process. And it's your right to go and find out where it is. You can do that very easily online. When you receive it, you will notice there are actually 2 envelopes inside the larger envelope. And
Okay.
to return it, you're going to need both.
Okay, so real quick, it would have come like this.
It would have come like that.
Right, and I have not opened mine yet.
Yes.
And so I'm just going to open it and we're going to find out what's inside. And so you have what's inside yours. So again, you're
do.
saying that there's 2 envelopes. Okay, so yes, I have one that says official election ballot
That's
and
correct.
one that has the reply mail ballot.
Yes.
Got it.
And then you should also have a 1-page, one-sided ballot.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is literally the same form that for those that go in person will be filling out election day. All
Right.
the same.
It's the same form that you would normally, for those who have voted in the past, welcome all the new voters. Can't wait for those young voters that would put through the scanner, correct?
That is correct.
Same thing. Yep.
Same thing. And this will be going through the scanner on election day. Your vote will be going through the scanner as well.
Excellent.
So you want a black or a blue pen. And then you may either X or fill in the box completely. Now, I recommend always filling in the box completely. I
Yes.
personally just feel better, like the Scantron when we're in school, fill in the
Yes.
mark, make your mark dark.
Yes.
That whole business.
Don't leave any gaps.
Don't leave any gaps. So you just, have a little color it in, do it all. That feels good. Now, something that has been concerning is people asking about when you fill, excuse me, let me finish this. So you finish that, then you put it in. I'm sorry, I'm making static.
No, you're fine.
You put it in the envelope that says official election ballot.
Great. So you fill it out, nice and easy, fill it all in, you put it in this envelope.
This envelope. So
Got
this
it.
is like putting on your clothes for the day, if you will.
Important. Put on the pants.
But now that it's chilly outside, we often wear a jacket too. That's like this envelope.
Oh, our jackets.
Our jackets. So you need to put this envelope inside. So, and as you do that, you will notice that there is information to fill out. So when people go in person, they fill that information out and or sign a book at the polling place. So this is
Correct.
taking the place of that.
Got it. So this takes the place of the book that you normally sign if you were in person.
That is correct. So that's where your signature is going to go, where it says voter sign or mark here. Now,
Okay.
I've heard questions about signatures. They are not going to be comparing signatures,
Got it.
period.
Got it.
But you do need to have a signature. So if there's no signature, that would throw the ballot out. But they're not going to be looking and analyzing, is this you or is this not you with the signature?
Got it.
Then you fill it out with all of the rest of the information. You'll notice that if you are somebody that is disabled, there's even ways there for you to have the witness fill out that information.
Great.
So they
Great.
really have taken care of all of it. Of special note is this little barcode, and your name and address is there. That's like your special identification for voting. And that will get scanned before Election Day. So they won't look to see how you voted, but they will register that you completed your voting process.
Got it. And I've been hearing that once you submit this, we'll talk about submitting it, you do get an email notification if that they have received your ballot.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And I kind of jumped ahead because we need to submit. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you seal it, right?
So you seal it.
A good old lick and
Lick and
stick.
seal. That's right.
Seal it up.
Seal it up. Put your return address. You'll notice no postage is necessary.
Got it. That's great.
So you can simply mail it in the same way you would mail anything.
Right.
Or if you are concerned about it getting to where it needs to go, and I've heard a lot of concern about that, you can go to 150 North Queen Street in Lancaster, the Chestnut Street entrance, and there's a box right there, as well as the county office, and is open for fielding ballots, questions, and things like that. They're open
Great.
extended hours.
Nice.
They will even be open Saturday, Halloween, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So if you have questions, you can take this with you and go in and say, I want to make sure I'm doing this right, and they will help you. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. If you don't have questions, you can simply do this and hand deliver it. You do not need, there's a question from Krisha. Put the
Okay.
ballots in the envelopes in front of the officials or prior. You can do it prior.
Got
I mean,
it.
if you want to do it there with them, that's fine. But they're not.
You can have it all sealed up and ready to go.
Yep.
And if you are dropping them off, which we'll talk about dropping them off, you don't need this external one that it came in anymore. This would only be if you are deciding to vote in person and bringing this with you.
That is correct.
Great. Excellent. So that's good. So I've done this. I filled it out. I've walked it down to the county office, and I've put it, there's a big giant drop-off box, right?
That is, yep.
And you put it in the drop-off box, and you are golden.
are.
And you were saying how we drop these off, but they're actually not going to be counted until Election Day.
That's correct.
And I have heard a rumor that the convention center will have a setup that will be counting our ballots. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that is actually it's not just a rumor. It is true. So the head of the county election office, as well as a variety of staff and volunteers, are going to start scanning ballots Election Day morning at the convention center. And there will be watchers from both parties that are there. They are legally allowed to do that.
Great.
I will say you must wear a mask to get into that space. They will be masked the entire time and distant in their way. Currently, and there's legislation, they're going back and forth to see, will they be able to actually start to open the envelope and kind of flatten things before Election Day to start the scanning process easier? Because as you can imagine, having to open and the double enveloped things, that's going
Right.
to take some time.
Right. And because of COVID, a lot of people have decided to vote via mail-in ballot. So therefore, there's a lot of them. Looks like we have a question. How do we track our ballots? Megan.
Yeah, so you can actually go to pavoterservices.com and look in, and it will tell you. You look up your name. There is I actually tracked my ballot at one point because I was like, I haven't received it. I'm really nervous about this. And it went in and it said it was pending. And then I looked again and it said mailed. So pending meant they hadn't yet sent them. And then I found out, they hadn't sent them yet. And then when it had been mailed, it was on its way to me.
Excellent.
So, and like you said, once you put it in, you should receive an email that verifies that your ballot has indeed been received.
Excellent. So that's simple enough, right? Just make sure you double envelope, make sure you seal and sign, take it to an official ballot box. If you have questions, you can talk to someone at the county office. And also there's a ton of information through the PA Gov site as well as the county site, especially even if you have frequently asked questions. They answer that on the county site really nicely. I was pleased with that. It kind of breaks down Q&A that they're receiving. Even like mail-in ballots were created by Act 77 of 2019. Little things like that, little nuggets of wisdom you can find at the county office if you want to learn more about the voting process. Let's talk a little bit about, you've decided, you've gotten this in the mail and you've decided, you know what, I want to vote in person, and you're going to show up at the polls that day, and you're going to bring this with you. Do you know what the process is if you decided to vote in person that day?
I do know what the process is, and I should say you are it's your right to do that. What will happen is a process that's called surrendering your ballot. And so that's why you heard Anne reference earlier that you need to take all of it with you. You do. You need to take everything that you received in the mail with you. And so literally you will be handing this ballot over to a poll watcher and volunteer and receiving another ballot that you will vote on.
Got it.
We referenced the book earlier. So there will be a green book that will have the names printed in it of all registered voters who have not yet voted.
Got it.
And if you had registered for a mail-in ballot but hadn't yet voted by mail that had been registered with the barcode here, your name will still be there, but it will just have a little watermark next to that indicating that you had asked for a mail-in ballot.
Got it.
You'll sign the book. A little box will be checked that you're there to vote in person and are surrendering the ballot, and you'll go and vote.
Great.
And you go
Excellent.
through just like you would any other election.
And make sure you get your little voter sticker. That's one thing I got to say
Yep.
I'm missing this year is my little I voted sticker. They should be handing those out at the ballot boxes. Question real quick. Someone has commented that they had not received their ballot yet. They had had emails telling them that it was on the way, but it still isn't here. So you were suggesting maybe calling the office.
I would definitely call the office at this point. Again, they mailed them the first week of October, the end of the first week of October. So they were saying at the training that by the end of last week, people should have received their mail-in ballots. And so it's the Wednesday after Friday. I would definitely call and see if they can help you with that. I can say the people that were training us are delighted that people are so engaged.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need people to engage in this very important process.
Yeah.
And this is all very helpful. Any other tips or information we should know, that anything you learned that you were surprised to learn at poll watching training?
So I guess two other things that I think were really interesting. So say you go to vote in person and for whatever reason, you don't bring all of your ballot to surrender with you. Will you still be able to vote? Yes, you will. You're going to be completing what's called a provisional ballot. Provisional ballots will not be counted until Friday after Election Day. That's not because your vote counts less. It's to keep the mail-in ballot from crossing paths with your in-person vote. So the reason you have to take all this with you is because this is how they're tracking mail-in ballots.
So the tracking is important.
The tracking is really important. And so this provisional ballot is a way of kind of safety net for not double voting, but also allowing all people to vote.
Excellent. And just real quick, I'm going to put up that Krisha gave us the link to the ballot tracking page here. So if you want to check that out, if you haven't gotten your mail-in ballot yet and you did request one, you can track it online. Here's a link. Again, you have till October 19th to register. And I encourage everyone to participate in the voting process. No matter what side you're on, and we're not sides really, I think we're all one community and we really should be working together to make sure that this process is working for all of us. And I have to just thank you for your willingness to volunteer and participate in the process, because it really, really is important. And especially, I think now more than ever, with the pandemic going on, people need to be encouraged and confident. And all of these steps make me very confident in filling this out and dropping this off and being counted.
Yes, I think and there's one other thing I learned related to there's such the concern about double voting, and does that happen? So I referenced that there would be 2 books this year. This is the first time ever. People who have not yet voted, their names will be in a green book. People whose envelope has been received, and again, that tracking has been tracked, their names will be in a red book because they've already voted. And so if you show up at a poll and your name is in the red book, you cannot vote.
Great. Yeah. So make sure, the takeaways would be, make sure, A, you're not double voting, which I think is fairly rare.
It's very rare, and there's just been a lot of concern. So I wanted to dispel that they don't have a plan for that.
Got it.
There's a lot of plan.
Perfect. That if you did get a mail-in ballot and you want to show up in person, bring it all with you. I would even bring the little yellow instructions that you get with it.
I would too. Just for safety's sake, bring it all. Don't even open it. Just take it. They will open it there.
Exactly. And if you do fill it out, just make sure you double envelope it and take it to an official ballot box, which is down at the county office. And if you have questions, there are resources and there's places you can call and look to for information. And any other clear takeaways?
I just want to say, if you're coming in person, we are doing our best to have it be safe for you. It can be contactless. If you bring your own black or blue pen, all you will need to touch is the ballot because it's one-sided. We're not even using the envelopes this year. We're going to be masked and shielded and behind a screen. So, we're really working to try to make it be available to all people and safe to all people.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you again for all you're doing. And thank you to all those who do participate and volunteer. And thank you to all those who are voting. Again, it's super, super important. So get out and vote, and you can still register. So do that online. It's so simple. And thank you for everyone who watched and valuable information, really great questions. And Megan, thank you. And I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday.
Thank you. You too, Ann. Thanks for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah.
Live from the Candy Factory is a proud member of the Candy Factory Collective. Live from the Candy Factory video can be found on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. Subscribe to the audio version wherever you get your podcasts.
Live from the Candy Factory is produced by Jason Mundock at the Candy Factory co-working campus in Lancaster, PA. Jason also composed and recorded our music.
Additional production and editing by Anna Tran.
Administrative support by Ariana Henderson, Krisha Martzel, and Robert Diggs.
Find links and other relevant info on the show posts at our website,
candyfactorycollective.com. Candy Factory.
Collective.